I still smell it. And what's that smell? Nostalgia. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I needed to make a follow-up video to my last video talking about my theory that all of the pop girlies are going back to their roots and why they are doing this. Some things I got right, some things I got wrong, but overall, I think I hit the nail on the head. So for those that did not watch my first video, which you should watch right now, I have a theory that all of the pop girlies are revisiting a sound that got them big in the first place. Think Demi Lovato releasing pop rock albums in the beginning of their career and then coming out with Holy for the. So in this video, I wanted to go over the things I got right, over the things I got wrong, things that I missed, and also future predictions of other artists that I forgot to talk about in the first video. So firstly, going over the people that I missed in my last video, I completely forgot about Avril Lavigne releasing Love Sucks. Avril Lavigne has always had somewhat of a pop rock sound. However, her last album before Love Sucks wasn't the sound that she was known for in the beginning of her career. However, Love Sucks was a complete homage to that. So Avril Lavigne signed to Travis Barker's record label, and Travis Barker is most famously known as the drummer from Blink-182, or 182. Either one of those two things. He played a big part in the production of Love Sucks, which is why the sound is so reminiscent of her music back in the 2000s. Love Sucks was successful. She also recently, after I posted my first video, released the deluxe version of the album. I wish I remembered to talk about her in the first video, but she is another example of my theory being correct. They're all revisiting their roots. Another person that I forgot to talk about was Christina Aguilera. I did actually think about talking about her, but I thought me bringing her up would be a little bit of a reach in my theory. So Christina Aguilera released a Spanish album. I was going to make a link that Christina also released a Latin-inspired Spanish language album very, very early on in her career in the 2000s. However, I thought it would be a little bit of a reach considering the sound of Latin pop today is not the sound of Latin pop back in the 2000s, so it's not really revisiting her sound at all, and her recent Latin music has gotten her a Latin Grammy, so it's been incredibly successful for her. I guess it's another example of her going back to her roots, but it's a bit of a reach, but there's a footnote for you. Another person that I completely forgot about was Nicki Minaj releasing Super Freaky Girl, which is basically Anaconda Part 2. Obviously, Super Bass was Nicki Minaj's big breakout, #1 smash, all around the world hit that everybody knows. Anaconda would arguably be her biggest song besides Super Bass. So Anaconda was completely based around a sample of Baby Got Back, that was a song from the 90s, and Super Freaky Girl follows that same formula, being based completely around a sample of Super Freak by Rick James, which was not released in the 90s. However, Super Freak was sampled in You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer, which was big around the 90s, so it kind of is a sample from the 90s as well. Anyway, Super Freaky Girl got Nicki Minaj her first solo #1 on Billboard, so it was incredibly successful for her, and it's kind of like her revisiting the sound that a lot of people knew her from, which was Anaconda. Now I want to quickly touch upon the things that I got right in my last video, firstly starting with Miss Taylor Swift.
Get a good lawyer.
So even though I released my last video on this theory after Midnights had come out, I did film it before Midnights came out, so everything that I said in that video was me predicting what Taylor was going to release. So in my last video, I thought that Midnights was going to be heavily inspired by the sounds of 1989, mainly because 1989 is arguably her biggest era of her music career. The most clear example of me being correct is her sampling Out of the Woods in Question when she goes, I remember. Mainly because Midnights was entirely co-produced by Jack Antonoff. I think the lead single, Anti-Hero, definitely screams 1989. Obviously, I wasn't expecting Midnights to be like a B-sides album of 1989, but I did think she was going to lean more towards the pop sound from 1989 than what she was currently going for with Folklore and Evermore. In a more blanket statement, 1989 is incredibly synth pop, and I would say the exact same for Midnights. It's incredibly synth pop. I'm in my mastermind era. Maybe I'm the mastermind, guys. Another person that I hit the nail on the head with was Meghan Trainor. I mean, it was pretty obvious. She named the title of her album Taking It Back. So, I mean, it was pretty damn obvious that she was going to be taking it back to her roots. Meghan Trainor was known for the doo-wop sound from All About That Bass, Dear Future Husband, Your Lips Are Moving. But let's be real. Made You Look is all about that bass 2.0. I've listened to the whole album, it's incredibly doo-wop, the sound fits her great. So Meghan Trainor got out of her flop era, incredibly proud of her. She is ruling TikTok right now. And once again, I got it right, she went back to her roots. Moving on to something that I got wrong, I predicted that Pink was going to come back with a pop rock sound that she was known for from her Misunderstood era. Pink is like what Avril Lavigne would like to say, a rock chick who liked to rock out. But I was wrong. She came back with a single, Never Gonna Not Dance Again. Oh my gosh, Pink, you ruined my theory. It's not a bad song, but oh my gosh, we are waiting on a pop rock album from Pink. I think I read somewhere that she's going to release an album in February. I think it's too soon to have a complete flip and a completely change of direction from the lead single. So I think her next album is going to be upbeat, disco pop. I think eventually she will release a pop rock album, but for now, we have Never Gonna Not Ever Gonna Really Gonna Dance Again. Now I want to touch upon further proof that my theory is correct, starting with Jennifer Lopez. Oh my gosh. Could you be more clear that my theory is correct right now? So Jennifer Lopez released a teaser for her upcoming album, which is so obviously going back to her roots. Could you be more obvious with this deep fake?
This is me then. This is me now.
This is me now.
So her new album coming out next year is called This Is Me Now, which is a reference to her album back in I think 2002, This Is Me Then, which spawned the huge song Jenny from the Block. The same time that This Is Me Then came out back in 2002, she was still dating Ben Affleck and even had a song on the album called Dear Ben. Fast forward 20 years later, she is back with Ben Affleck, she's married Ben Affleck, and has even said on her next album she's gonna have a song called Dear Ben Part 2.
God help us.
Which is like going back to your roots, completely referencing a song that you've already done, and it's gonna be a follow-up sequel song to a song you've already done. She's going back, she's going back, she's going back. However, I don't think This Is Me Now is gonna sound like This Is Me Then, because I've always found Jennifer Lopez to be a trend chaser, not a trend starter. Every single time she releases music, it is very current. And that's not a bad thing. It's more that I don't think I've ever listened to a J-Lo song and gone, whoa, this is like nothing that's on the radio right now. It's more like, whoa, this is like everything that's on the radio right now. I think it's gonna have a very modern production. Right now in the modern pop sphere, hip hop is still the #1 mover and shaker. I see Jennifer Lopez making a hip hop pop inspired album, maybe with some reggaeton songs. The producers that are working on This Is Me Now have worked on many chart topping songs from the last 5 years. One of them was one of the writers on Thank You Next and 7 Rings. So I don't see any evidence of her working with songwriters or producers or anyone for that matter from her previous work back when she was making This Is Me Then.
I wish you all the best song. We're all gonna buy it. Thank you.
Furthermore, Demi Lovato will be releasing more rock music in the future. Exhibit A TikTok that she released that basically was saying, don't be expecting me to go back to pop. I'm sticking to me right now. I'm a rock chick. I like to rock out, and I'm gonna keep rocking out. Another development is Madonna via TikTok teasing the release of the song Back That Up to the Beat, which is an unreleased song that got leaked and then became a trending audio on TikTok, and everyone thought that it was like a Russian or Romanian song, and it ended up being Madonna, because of course it's Madonna. I don't know this for sure, but I assume that Back That Up to the Beat is an unreleased song from Hard Candy and was produced by Pharrell Williams, and that's completely based on the fact that there is a 4 count in the beginning of the song, and that is what Pharrell is known for.
I have the mind of a mastermind. What's that? I don't know, but...
So if Madonna is going to release a full studio-length album, maybe it's going to be revisiting the sound of Hard Candy. Finally, I want to talk about future predictions of other pop girlies that will be releasing music in the future and what I think their sounds are going to be. Starting off with Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus has hinted at releasing music in the new year with posters all around the world, and also has created a countdown on her website, which will end when the clock strikes 12 in 2023. So my #1 guess, and I think everybody else's guess, is that she will be releasing music in the beginning of the new year. I am unclear on what her sound will be. I don't know whether her new music is going to be more rock music like Plastic Hearts, or if it's going to be revisiting another very popular era for her, bangers. Why do I say this? There was news, I think up to a year ago, about Miley Cyrus being in the studio with Mike Will Made It, who was a massive producer on bangers.
I have the mind of a mastermind. What's that? I don't know, but
Potentially her music will be revisiting that We Can't Stop, Wrecking Ball era of her career. Slide Away was also produced by Mike Will Made It, and that was a ballad-esque song, kind of like Wrecking Ball, and that was kind of what she was going for with the shelved album She Is Miley Cyrus. When she released that EP, She Is Coming, with Mother's Daughter, Unholy, Catitude, that was very bangers-esque. And then the album got shelved, and then she came out with Plastic Hearts, which was kind of going back to her roots with her early work, but then also She Is Miley Cyrus, the shelved album, was kind of going back to bangers. Potentially, her new music will be in the same vein as She Is Coming, which is once again in the same vein as bangers. Another person that I want to talk about is Kylie Minogue. There is no news about Kylie Minogue hinting at new music anytime soon, but I have a feeling that when she comes out with new music, it is going to be Fever 2.0. Why do I say this? Obviously, Kylie Minogue's music dates all the way back to the 1980s. She has been around for a very long time, and I love her discography. Fever is her most commercially successful album. It's also spawned the song Can't Get You Out of My Head, which is her most well-known song, and I have a feeling that when she comes out with new music, she's going to be revisiting the sound that made her a global superstar. And when I say that, I mean she broke out in America, which makes you a global superstar by that logic. Now moving on to a young Italian woman called Stefani Germanata, also known as Lady Gaga. So I forgot to make a prediction about the music that she is going to be releasing in the future in my last video, so in this video, let me ponder. I think she will fully go back to her roots, which is the Fame era. I think we are going to be getting another Just Dance, another Poker Face, another Paparazzi. Chromatica was not the Fame. Like, you can't listen to those two albums and say you can put that song and this song and this song and that song and merge them together and make it out like they are similar cohesive albums. No, they're very different sounds, even though they have a lot of danceability. When she comes out with new music, I'm expecting a Red One produced song that's given Just Dance. It's bringing us back to 2008 recession pop and make us pop our Lady Gagussies on the dance floor. So my final thoughts is that my theory is still going pretty strong. We've got some new music on the way that is going to validate my theory, hopefully, and also I've got some more predictions that in the future you guys can look back on and see what I said and go, oh my god, he is a prophet. And I need to subscribe. Let's subscribe to me. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.